Hi, my name is Ajay, and the topic I've chosen is electronics and the electronics component manufacturing workers. Manufacturers assert the improvement of production methods and increasing speed of industrialization and robotization. Growth of the human job is, however, frequently overlooked due to the thorough technology and business-oriented attitude often formed among producers. Their analysis and advancement departments and research workers. This is to some extent incompatible if there is a common understanding of Industry 4.0 as an idea that will provide to more intricate job for employees. We will discuss that the perceptions of Industry 4.0 will be difficult to accomplish without securing the vision to employees at the floor level. Comprising workers and presenting them the chances to evolve and expand could be viewed as crucial success determinants in the search of becoming a smart factory and achieving the aspects of Industry 4.0. The Electronics Corporation engages millions of employees throughout the whole world and performs a critical function in the formation of the global economy. Numerous international electronics corporations maintain their capital exhaustive enterprises in home nations, but find their labor-intensive processes in newly industrializing nations because of the lower charge of labor and appealing fiscal infrastructural incentive presented in numerous developing and freshly industrializing nations. The corporations is an important contributor to employment and the national economic prosperity. The industry is different with an expansive range of processes. Its areas involve semiconductor wafer fabrication, production of engraved circuit boards, and the congregation of semiconductor instruments and imprinted circuit panels. Congregation of the ultimate electronic merchandises. Capital expenditure authorization rated occupations by salaries established that in United States of America, 83% of occupants making less than $20 per hour would develop under pressure from industrialization, as compared to 31% of occupations making amid $20 and $40 per hour, and 4% of the works creating above $40 per hour. The OECD study estimates that less educated workers are more likely to be replaced by automation than highly educated ones. Indeed, the Organization for European Economic Cooperation studies writers assess that 44% of American employees with lesser than high school degree take jobs made up of highly electronic automatable works, while 1% of people with bachelor's degree or higher hold such occupation to the extent that education salaries are compared with abilities. This indicates a big drop in demand for lower skilled employees and a little fall in demand for higher skilled staff. These evaluations propose an extension of ability biased technical transformation in the near term. This will give increase to a job market to a greater extent isolated into low expertise and low salary, high expertise and high salary divisions, which consecutively will lead into a develop of social tensions. Technology is one of the major reasons why salaries have deteriorated by lack of action or even lowered for a majority of society in high-income nations. The demand for highly competent employees has risen while the demand for employees with fewer education and lower abilities has diminished. The consequences the consequence is a job market with an extreme demand at the high and low points, but hollowing out the myth. It also assists to explain why middle classes all over the globe are to greater extent considering a pervasive sense of discontent and injustice. Industrialization and robots. Robots have created the economy more effective. In 2015 analysis of robots in 17 countries established that they combined and predicted 0.4% point on average of those nations' annual gross domestic product advancement between 1993 and 2007. Computing for just over 1/10 of those nations' overall GDP during that time, some of the progress has been attained by United States manufacturers using robots, granting more merchandises to be created while engaging fewer employees at some facilities. Artificial intelligence, in its numerous demonstrations, hold commitment to change completely the basis of economic development in nations across the globe. A current study of 12 grown economies, including the United States, found that artificial intelligence has the probability to increase to double the annual economic development rates in the nation studied by 2035. When industrialization or robots take the place of simple and repetitive duties, employees feel awkward about employment and the way of living. Job uncertainty relates to unease and unemployment and complication of re-employment. The ILO has lengthened job insecurity further from the level of employment and salaries to comprehensive idea. In addition, it is difficult to maintain individual work-life balance without negotiating work conditions such as work hours, paid time off, and improving workplace with an employer. International Labour Organization redefines job insecurity. Moreover, when social safety nets such as public pension salaries, sick leave, annual vacation, and maternity vacations are not secured, when there is no chance of job transition or promotions, or even when essential human claims such as discriminations or enlisting unions willfully are disregarded on purpose, employment instability is changed in a bad way. Increased employment imbalance can develop mental illness. In 2012 and 2014, employees in the electronic industry in high-risk jobs lamented of tension and weak health. Particularly, employees feel uncertain about their occupations if they feel that their occupations are an alternative for robots and encounter aggravating poverty and health as salaries reduce and welfare assistances of bosses decline. Also, automation brought in to raise productivity and quality of life would only derive in expanded human labor time. For example, if an autonomous vehicle is imported, it would likely enjoy leisure tasks instead of driving amidst travel. However, workers could be compelled to do more jobs to improve productivity. In this example, driving stress may be replaced by job-associated stress. Employers could be in charge of job duties with inadequate working surroundings. For example, if an automation machine breaks down, the employee should fix the machinery manually. Most industrial hazards happen during this time, in such that it is expected that all machinery should be shut down and employee security should be secured. However, in numerous cases, safety inspections are carried out without seizing the machine for upkeep. Lately, there is a death in the Republic of Korea where an employee who was directly checking the conveyor belt in the thermal power plant was accidentally killed by the belt. Numerous occupational threats involving disclosure to chemicals such as pesticides, organic solvents, metals, antinoplastic drugs, physical conditions like ionizing radiation, and physiological factors such as heavy workloads, long working hours, or job stress are acknowledged to be related with different unfavorable reproductive effects concerning reproductive health. Significant consideration should compensate to the microelectronics industry, which creates semiconductors or printed circuit boards for two intentions. First, this industry must use capacity of reprotoxic agents corresponding to the historical hygiene evaluation in the Semiconductor Organization by the United Kingdom and Safety Executive. Employees should be vulnerable to various reprotoxic agents, including lead, nickel, arsenic compounds, or other aliphatic hydrolytic solvents. Such concern was backed by factual evidence. A series of analyses written in 1990s to 2000s from the United States and Taiwan recorded increased dangers of unfavorable reproductive effects among microelectronic workers. In case of South Korea, public first acknowledged such a danger in 1995 when 16 to 25 female employees exposed to solvents consisting terbromoprofane in electronic firm created secondary amenorrhea. Second, in the world, many of manufacturing employees in the microelectronics industry are women, mainly in their childbearing age. Many employee members at the founding level hold the view that due to digitalization, many hazardous jobs duties earlier accomplished by workers can be reassigned to robots. For this reason, they accept digitalizations as regards safety at job, but will try to assure that not all workers are replaced by robots. The workers must remain important to work. Robots have to accommodate to human obligations and not the other man around. It must be acknowledged at the same time that numerous employee members at the establishment level have many consultation and fact rights as regards to occupational safety and hence also with view to utilization of autonomous systems. Since most mishaps at work were brought about by shortage of coordinations between the work and assistive system, many European firms utilize the European standards as minimal obligations, and they also utilize in other nations that they do not have any such systematic security standards. The illustration of Toyota's blocking accelerator pedals, which led to many deaths in the United States, displays what can occur when humans depend too much on the system. The manager must, however, understand that the robot is performing in order to identify its mistake. For this reasoning, it is all more critical that the worker takes care not only of themselves but the extremely developed machinery, but also takes care of the product from the liabilities of automation. Employees vulnerable to chemicals and operations in computer and semiconductor manufacturing would be anticipated to have raised mortality from cancers such as lymphoma, brain tumor, kidney, lung, and breast cancers. Moreover, exposures in the computer and semiconductor manufacturing corporations are complicated and have altered as new processes and materials were brought in. Therefore, the mortality encountered in computer and semiconductor manufacturing would be expected to vary over time due to changing exposures. One of the more important rules in the operation of ventilation and closure system in clean rooms and emission removal of chemicals, recycling air would the electronics industry. In conclusion, the electronics industry has completed huge global development over the last quarter of a century. Like any other corporations, occupational health dangers exist in electronics work. As the electronics labor force rises, there is a requirement for occupational and environmental medicine professionals to be conscious of the work operations in this electronics corporation, that is to identify possible dangers, and it is to carry out suitable control methods to look after the health of its workers. An efficient operating health and safety setup within the electronics organization will include the combination of particular programs, for instance, those focusing chemical protection and enhanced ergonomics, health surveillance into understandable and complete health safety management structure. Moreover, well-knowledgeable workers and productive surveillance systems can restrict work-associated diseases and mishaps. Thank you.